What is the biggest offseason priority left for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Bit of an interesting article that was written here at the end of May by Kevin Patra, by the way. Now, I know that this was like a whole freaking month ago, right? And it's like, James, why the heck are you talking about that? Like, when, like, this was after the NFL draft, which is important to note. This was after the NFL draft. But the offseason is basically over in a lot of people's minds. I do understand that, but I did think it was going to be interesting to take a look at this and see what was written about regarding the Bucs. And here it says sort out corner spots opposite Jamel Dean. It then goes on to talk about Carlton Davis being traded away, Zion McCollum's there, Christian Izien is there, Tyke Smith is there as well. And I will agree, in a way, that a priority for the Bucs is sorting out the cornerback spot opposite Jamel Dean. Nickel cornerback, it seems like they have a lot of healthy options there. As Patra mentioned, you have Christian Izien, you have Tyke Smith, you have Tavier Thomas. It seems like they've addressed that priority, right? I think they have an abundance of guys who can be that. Second cornerback is more interesting because sorting it out isn't necessarily the issue. I do believe that Zion McCollum is going to be this team's second cornerback going forward. But it's more so solidifying those spots, right? Like, can Zion McCollum be a good second cornerback? That is a big question, right? And I made a whole video talking about Jamel Dean already. So sorting it out, meh. Like, it kind of already is sorted out. Like, Jamel Dean's going to be the cornerback one. Zion McCollum's probably going to be the cornerback two, unless Bryce Hall just goes out there and goes crazy. Maybe he could be the cornerback two. But then, like, I don't think sorting out that nickel cornerback spot is, like, a priority, like a negative thing, right? Because they have a lot of guys there who can do that. It's just a matter of who's going to be the starter. I would argue that two higher priorities than this is, number one, sorting out the edge rushing position, because you take a look at that is one where you can genuinely ask, who's going to be the starter besides Yaya Diaby, right? Sorting out the pass rush specifically, right? You know Kalijah Kancey's going to give you some pass rush. You know Vita Vea is going to give you some pass rush. You know, or at least hope, Yaya Diaby is going to give you some pass rush. After that, what do you do? Who's going to help be the answer? Is it going to be Chris Braswell? Is it going to be Joe Tryon-Shoyinka? Is KJ Britt going to factor in there from the inside linebacker position? Is Levante David going to factor into that from the inside linebacker position? Is Anthony Nelson going to be a part of this? Is Randy Gregory going to be a part of this? That's a bigger priority, in my opinion. Yes, it obviously you want to figure out who your number two and nickel cornerbacks are, but like that type of thing can sort itself out in some ways if you have a good pass rush. I think sorting out the pass rush is a bigger priority than sorting out the cornerback position. Secondly, a top priority now, offseason wise, installing the new offensive system from Liam Cohen, which I'm surprised that wasn't addressed here, because you take a look, like, blend Kellen Moore's offense with what Jalen Hurts does well. Like, we're talking about, make sure Derek Carr's on the same page as Clint Kubiak. Like, we're talking about offensive coordinators in this list from Patra, but, wasn't brought up for the Bucs, and they also have a new offensive coordinator. So I'm curious as to why that wasn't brought up, because that's going to be a big deal, right? Like, Todd Bowles is still going to be the main play caller of the defense. We know that, right? We don't know fully how Liam Cohen's going to be on the offensive side of things, or how well this new offense is going to integrate into things. If it was still, a situation where Baker Mayfield was still working under Dave Canales, I forgot his name for a second, that's one thing. And if the offense was still under Dave Canales, that's one thing. It's a new offensive coordinator entirely, again, right? And while we've heard about some similarities between Canales' and Liam Cohen's offenses, It's still going to be a sorting out process. It's still going to be a working out process. So yeah, I think that's probably even more of a top priority is installing the freaking offense, man. I mean, I think so. So it's that's, I would say those two things are bigger priorities than sorting out the cornerback spot. You want to make sure your offense is installed and installed well, and it's actually a successful offense. That's priority number one, in my opinion. Priority number two is sorting out your pass rush. I would probably have cornerback. I mean, golly, could you even put sorting out your interior offensive line as priority number three? I don't know. In my opinion, yes, I do understand. I will say, yes, it is a priority sorting out the cornerback spot. I think there's a couple of more things that I would have above that, though. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.